Hi, my name is Zizu Sarava, and as a mindfulness trainer and mind coach for women, today I have a great honor to have here a Buddhist monk, Lompi John.
Hello, Susie.
Hello, Lompi. And he's gonna share with us his wisdom regarding the topic relationship and women. He's teaching worldwide, so I'm pretty sure he will give you amazing answers to the questions which you are writing to me. And maybe you can also write a comment below this video and questions which may occur during this conversation. So Lompi, I have a couple of questions from the ladies which are writing me.
Okay.
And the first question is, I don't have a relationship. How do I know he's the right one when he comes? And what can I do in order to approach him?
First thing first, I will suggest that we choose someone who is compatible with us. So I would suggest that we consider four aspects. First, we have to be compatible in terms of passions and faith. If we have the same passions, the same faith is going to work out in long run. For example, if one likes to read a book so much, likes to go to the library, and the other one just doesn't like reading at all, this is not going to work for long. Second, we have to consider the amount of discipline. So one is very, very diligent, the other one is super lazy, then there might be a lot of conflicts going on as well. And third, we need to consider the amount of generosity. If one likes to give, to share with others, to share with neighbors, to cook all the time, invite people all the time, and the other one is so greedy. No, you give too much, then that is not going to work for long as well. And the last one is the wisdom. One is super clever and the other one is not so much. Then one is always being very rational and the other one is very emotional the whole time. That doesn't work either. So these four aspects, if you consider before choosing the right man, then it is possible that you get the right one easier.
Mm-hmm. But what about this first sight love? Like I feel in love, I'm so shaking and I don't know whether he's compatible or not. So is this like reasonable?
Basically, we usually have an initial amount of love at the first sight, and we usually depend on this amount of love to choose the person that will stay with us for the rest of our life. Mm-hmm. But somehow this quality of love doesn't last forever. Mm-hmm. It is going to decrease over time. Otherwise, and think about our life, even though we love one music so much, but if you keep listening to the same music 10 times in a row, after the first time you still like it, after the second time you still like it, but after 10 times, maybe you just want to switch off your radio or maybe your MP3 player already. So even though we feel attached to something by pleasure, and those pleasure doesn't going to last forever.
Okay, so how can I know that when I meet the person, this is not the love for the first sight, but this is the spiritual connection, as I hear it sometimes, like the twin flame or this like a soulmate?
Don't consider only the feeling of love. Sometimes you also need to depend on some friends, advices from elders, from your parents, because we can't always trust our mind. If your mind is filled with love, the love will blind your eyes, and that is when you should not trust yourself. That's why we meditate, because when we meditate, we just clean our mind, we just let it be free, and then we look at the same story, the same scenario with fresh eye, with no prejudice, no bias because of love.
That's wonderful. So meditation is the solution. So when I meet a person and this person, I don't know much about this person, and I have this feeling, wow, this could be a partner of my life. So then I should immediately apply these four rules of the connection with the person you have mentioned.
Yes, I would suggest to keep
Getting to know him?
Getting to know him longer. It's not just like you
First sight.
found a
Yes.
person on Saturday and you're getting married to him on Monday.
Okay.
That is going to be too quick because you don't have time to study that person. But if you have time to study that person, to consider all the different aspects for many years, and you know that he can't lie to you, then you can be very committed to the relationship later on.
That's wonderful. Great advice. Thank you. So I have a second question, and it is, I have a difficult relationship. Should I stay or should I go? Because we are always arguing all the time, and it is very exhausting.
This comes the second recipe, the second advice. If you actually argue together at the same time, it's not going to work. But if you can, if one is arguing and the other one is being patient, it's going to be prolonged. But if both of you argue at the same time, then it's not going to be that long. So one recipe that I will give here is to love at the same time and get angry at different times.
Okay.
If you are going to have conflicts the whole time, then why don't you actually stay and live by yourself? Because otherwise, living by ourselves gives us more happier feeling.
And so when we are arguing, one of us must be wiser, right?
One of us must be wiser, must be patient, must be able to calm down the situations. So both of us should not use just emotion, but we should also use reasons, being very rational and treat each other in a very wise way.
And could meditation help in that moment?
Of course, because usually meditation will just calm our mind down. So we will not be controlled by anger, by ignorance, by ego. Once you meditate, the amount of anger, ignorance, ego will subside, will become lower. And that is when we can come back to our sense again and we can tackle all the problems with intelligent eyes.
So is it okay if two of the couples, just one person would meditate, so could it help the situation?
It would be best if two persons meditate. But if at least one person meditate, it is going to be much better already.
That sounds great. So the third question is, I want to travel all around the world. I don't want to settle. In the same time, I have a feeling I want a partner. So what should I do?
Find a partner who will always travel with you. So simple. Again, it comes to the same compatibility rule that you need to have the same passion. If you have a passion of traveling and the other person, the man doesn't have the passion of traveling, it won't go for long. Relationship is the time that we have to spend together. And if that time you will spend together is traveling, then there are many couples that travel together around the world. Maybe if you start traveling, you will find one.
You see? Good one. So other question is, my partner comes from a different country and different culture. We have cultural differences. And we are sometimes arguing and sometimes he doesn't understand me and I don't understand him. What can I do about it?
It begins with acceptance. So you have to accept that a person that is staying with you at the moment, he wasn't born in your country, he wasn't raised in your environment, and now you are committed to staying with him. So that acceptance has to be always with you the whole time. But there must be some culture that both of you can agree together. For example, the culture of peace, the culture of acceptance, the culture of tolerance. This culture, if you have with you, even though things might be different, and you have to enjoy the difference. If you don't enjoy the differences, then it's going to be over very soon. But if you are excited, for example, I'm from Thailand, and there are always, international people that come to Thailand, they get married to Thai people and they live together. Those people are very excited with the Thai culture. They like to learn Thai, they like to eat Thai food, they like to come to Thailand once in a while and visit Thai temple. If that could be your case, it's going to be much better, your relationship.
Okay.
You have to be excited with his culture.
So if there are two different cultures, they should be excited about each other.
Exactly. But if you get bored of each other's culture, it's not going to last very long.
Okay. Good one. Another question. I am a spiritual person. I like to go to seminars, personal development. I like to meditate. However, my partner is materialist and he doesn't believe in these things. He don't want me to share the experience which I engage in the seminars, and I don't want to break up with him. However, I want somebody to share it with. What can I do?
Basically, we come to a scenario of two persons with completely different compatibility list. So, my suggestion is there must be something in addition to spirituality or materialism that keep you together. This thing could be, for example, your family bond, like your kids, your children, some other interests like you spend your time on dating once in a while, or maybe you spend time on watching the same movies. Something can coexist even though you have different interests. So you have to understand that in relationship there are two big circles: your circle, your man's circle, and the overlapping part. This overlapping part has to be large enough to hold these two big circles together. Otherwise, it's not going to work, I would say. If your spirituality is just a part of your life and then you have something else as well, and in his case, materialism is also just a part of his life, and there's something else that you can find in common as well, it might work. But if spirituality for you is everything, and for him, materialism is also everything, then it might not work very long.
I want my partner to be more successful so I could admire him more. How can I motivate him?
Basically, everything has to start from oneself, from himself. So all you could do is just to give him some support and find what he is missing. Is he missing a dream? Is he missing some motivation? If he missing some encouragement, some support, that is what you can do. But if he refuses to maybe following his dream, or he doesn't have enough passions, maybe you can also encourage him to try meditation, because meditation is going to help clear our mind. Whenever we clear our mind, we can escape the old daily habit routines. So one thing that I would suggest as well is to keep him away from his habitual routine, because 95% of our actions are the result of our own habits. So basically, if he lives in the same environment every day, again, he won't be able to think about something new. And that will not lead him to better inspiration. So maybe you consider taking a vacation, traveling the world together, let him see something new he never seen before. That might trigger some new motivation.
Okay, that's very good. My partner is a very slow person. He takes a lot of time to decide, and he takes a lot of time to take some action. Comparing to me, where I am very fast and very active, and sometimes it drives me crazy. What can I do?
My suggestion is you can take majority of decisions yourself. So you actually have to wait for him. And then you just have to understand that we can't actually change other people. If you try to change other people, sometimes a problem between couples is just like, you have to take decisions, pick the right clothes for me. But the guy doesn't want to do so. So what do? You just pick one that you like and wear it. So you actually have to wait for the other people to take so many decisions. The reasons that he takes slower decisions might be because of some other reasons as well. Because, for example, he has a lot of work, he has so many things to take decisions already. So sometimes he doesn't want to take more decisions, you know. It doesn't mean that he is very slow, but sometimes he doesn't really want to take any decision at that moment. So what about trying to reduce the amount of decisions that he needs to take, and you take more?
That's a good advice. Okay, so another question is, my partner is totally opposite than me. He's extroverted, he likes going out, and I rather stay at home and cook or take care of my dog. He wants me to go out with him, and I don't like it. What can we do about it?
Well, this again come with the compatibility. Then I would suggest that you have to be flexible to each other. So once a relationship is committed and you still keep a relationship because of a particular reason, you know, you just have to follow some additional advice we call a glue for keeping relationship together. You have to be flexible, you have to be accepting, you have to be patient, you have to be pleasant, like smiling to each other. And this will be eventually something that will keep you together. That you have to understand that friendship is the time that you have to spend together. If you can't find any activity at all that you will spend time together, it doesn't work. So even though you like to stay at home, you also have to consider going out with him once in a while. Even though he likes going out too much, he likes to go party a lot, but he also needs to spend some days staying at, with you at home as well. So this understanding will lead to longer, sustainable relationship.
So this is the compromise it is
Yes,
necessary to do.
exactly.
Okay. Another question is, my partner has so many activities. I'm at home always alone. I'm very unhappy.
Why don't you start some activities as well? Because I think it doesn't mean that you always need him by your side to do something. You know, again, we have like two big circles, his world, your world, and then the common world. Now you depend too much on the common world, that the two circles are overlapping each other. Why don't you actually make your world more meaningful by doing something? If he leaves you at home, if I were you, I would feel super happy that I have time for myself. So I would just read a book. I would just maybe, if you're a spiritual person, do some yoga, you do some meditation. I would just enjoy cooking, inviting some friends over. So this is a time that I think you should treasure for yourself. So you actually have to depend on all that little time that you will have to spend on each other. So relationship is also like, he is, I would say, like a little bird in your hand. You have to hold the bird so that it won't fly away from you. But if you hold it too loosely, the bird will fly away. But if you hold it too tightly, the bird will die. The little bird will die. So basically, we need to keep that proper force of holding without losing the bird's life. So you also need to give him some privacy, and then you develop your own privacies as well.
Thank you. Other question is, how can I move on after breaking up with my partner? It hurt me so much, and I cannot open up and open my heart to another partner.
My suggestion is, every time that you come across a very big obstacle, turning point of life, like breaking up from the one that you love, then your mind will keep thinking in a loop. You will keep thinking about this again and again and again. Why me? Why did it hurt me? Why did he leave me? Again and again and again. So one way to fix this is just to keep your mind think about something else. If you cannot just distract your thought with something else easily, that's not very easy, I know. You need to feed yourself with new activities For example, you start running, you start hanging out with some girls, you start watching movies, you start engaging in new activities until time will heal a hole in your heart, and that requires some time. Otherwise, you will keep thinking about the same thing again and again and again. But this can be easily fixed if you have found a new relationship. You know, if you found a new love, that will eventually replace the hole in your heart, and then you'll be fine again. But if you are still searching the one who is compatible with you, then I will suggest that you keep yourself busy. Go to a new place, do not live in the same environment, so that your mind doesn't think in a loop.
And meditation would help as well?
Exactly, because in meditation practice, we train our mind so it can focus with one thought. So when you are not meditating, your mind keeps shifting between thoughts. You know, you think about one thing, it goes to the next thought. You can't even finish the second thought. It goes to the third one, to the fourth one, to the fifth one, coming back to the first one again. And in this case, you're going to think about one single thought, which is, why my boyfriend left me? Why my boyfriend left me? Why my boyfriend left me? So if you keep your mind, if you train your mind with meditation technique, like when we meditate, we just think of something else, something so simple like the sun, the moon, and we keep thinking about that in a proper way, relaxingly. Eventually, whenever your mind started to be shifted from what you were doing, you can bring it back very easy. That's called mindfulness, and the ability to keep your mind back to what you're supposed to do is mindfulness.
Excellent. Thank you. It was wonderful. And the last question is, I feel insecure in the relationship. My partner says he loves me, but I don't believe him because I was hurt in my previous relationship. What can I do?
Well, you have to understand that these are two relationships that supposed not to be connected to each other. The only one connection is you. So the partner of the previous relationship hurt you, but the partner of the present relationship doesn't hurt you. So why you should keep troubling yourself, feeling insecure, and do not trust your present partner if he didn't hurt you, right? So you can't fix anything else but yourself. You just have to tell yourself that relationship is based on trust. Of course, if you lose the trust, you wouldn't trust the first man, but now you are committing to a relationship with the second man, right? So basically, I suggest that you should also trust him more, okay? Because otherwise, you will keep blaming yourself, which is over. When it is over, we should learn to accept and let go. And if you can let go, you can move on. And this will even make your present relationship more wonderful, more beautiful.
So meditation could help as well here in this case.
Yes, because meditation trains our mind to be used to letting go. So once we can let go, every time we meditate, we will not keep thinking about different things. We just keep our mind focused on one thought. So every time our mind started to be attracted to the thoughts again, we let it go, we let it go, we let it go. So we train our mind so we have a habit of letting go.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Longki, thank you so much.
There's one thing that I will probably like to mention, that whenever we are like learning a man, and maybe you like to start a new relationship, you should make 2 papers. The first paper, 10 good things about him, and the second paper, 100 negative things about him. And you should compare these 2 papers together. If you look at the 2 papers and you have a feeling, okay, I'm going to live with this man for the rest of my life, and you look at the trade-off, well, he have 10 good things, that's a lot, but look at these 100 negative things, I could accept that. Then you can commit to a relationship and it will last for long.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you. So girls, I think you have great advices to think about, and maybe it's also an invitation for you to start meditate. You can start to meditate online. There is an online program which I will mention below this video, which you can subscribe. And I believe that it inspires you, you have a happy relationship, or you soon meet a right person to be loved and to love. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm looking forward to another video with you. Thank you.